Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. We'll get started in just a moment.
Perfect.
Okay, we are recording. All right, Bob, do you want to kick us off, introduce sort of how we got here? Be glad to have you
Sure.
how
Absolutely.
we got here.
So welcome everybody. You were most of you, I think, were probably on our office meeting last week is where you heard about this meeting that we were promoting. We did put it out on our social media pages as well, and we really were excited to have an opportunity to have Shelly on because Shelly is, I don't know what your title is, Shelly. Are you a regional person or what's your title?
I am. So I'm a partner with Knox, and so I am managing partnerships in Florida, Arizona, and California.
Ah, perfect. Well, I can see where you guys, that makes a lot of sense geographically. Florida, Arizona. Yeah, a lot of frequent flyer miles, so or frequent Zoom miles, if you want to look at it that way. So that's perfect. So anyway, so Colette had probably about a month ago, wasn't it, Colette, that you had approached me and said, "Hey, what about this?" And I'm like, "Well, it sounds like I don't know, and potentially." We need to dig in there a little bit because I don't see how we would benefit from that if they're going to be the realtor in this whole scenario, right? And so Colette did a little more digging and came up and said, "Hey, let's just have a meeting with them. They're willing to meet." So we did, and it was Shelly, and then there was the actual loan guy. What was his name? Say again.
Rob Foose.
Yes, Rob was on with us and allow Colette and I kind of poke some holes at them and fire questions at them and try and figure out why their system wouldn't work. And they shut us down at every question. So, which was good. I mean, shut us down because our questions were trying to find the problem. And we got to the bottom of it. And then Colette actually had a client, I think, right? That was kind of going to fit perfectly. So I like to say Colette was going to be our guinea pig. She likes to say prototype. And that's why we want Colette here is because she introduced us to it and also is in the midst of a transaction right now. And I do think I saw Colette, some of the people that you had posted on, I think we've got like 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 agents that have actually been proactive and jumped in and joined the training, didn't want to be a week behind schedule and jumped onto the training already. So thanks to Colette's promotion. So, and Colette, how's it going?
It's going great. And honestly, it happened so quickly. Thankfully, I was able to get certified so quickly and get my buyers/sellers up and running with Knox. It was seamless. It was quicker than I could have ever imagined, considering they're doing both deals. And we were able to go under contract. The very first house we finally looked at with them, they've been wanting to look, but they knew they didn't want to tease themselves, knowing they had to have a sale contingency. But anyhow, the very first house we looked at, they fell in love with. We put an offer in and it got accepted, and we're smooth sailing right now with the whole transaction.
Perfect. And so I'm going to let Shelly take over, but here's the deal. I think I caveated that this is another tool for our tool belt, right? As real estate agents to allow us to be potentially competitive in a very hyper competitive marketplace that we're in right now. When we have some hurdles like a home to sell, right? That's in the way and that people are concerned about, or just concerned about, hey, look, I think I'll sell my house fast, but am I going to find the one I want, right? What if I've sold and now I'm homeless, right? I'm trying to hang out with, Kaya at the, boarding place because they have a pool there, and go that direction. So it's not. I don't think it's not panacea. It's not this utopia answer for every situation, but I certainly believe it could be an answer for a lot of situations, and it's going to take you as agents being knowledgeable enough to know what you're doing enough to kind of cover the overall concept without getting too much into the details and let the Knox people take care of the details, right? That would be my goal for you, because you're going to learn that Knox is a lender, not a real estate company, and that it's a very interesting, creative take on the bridge loan concept, but they've done some really cool stuff. But it takes some knowledge to understand it, so I want to make sure that you're fully on board. And I'm going to let Shelly explain it, and then I think she's going to introduce us on how we can then take the next step and get some training. Is that correct, Shelly?
That's correct. Yes. So today we will cover how the HomeSwap works, how you can use this to close more double-sided transactions, have a competitive advantage in the market. And then at the end, how to become certified to offer this to your clients. So the way we are bringing this to market is through partnering with brokerages. We only partner with top brokerages. And then we bring this to market through you, their favorite agent. So they get to work with you on both the buy side and the list side of the transaction. So it's more double-sided transactions for you. And this helps your clients get off the fence and out shopping for the new house. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started. If you have any questions as we go through the presentation, please feel free to put those in the Q&A section, not the chat, put them in the Q&A, and we will answer all of those at the end. So we are announcing today our partnership between Knox HomeSwap program and Future Home Realty. We're excited to be partnered together, and together this is a better way to buy and sell. So we know as agents that 60% or more of your home buyers are buying and selling at the same time. So if your clients can't qualify to carry 2 mortgages, they don't have the down payment saved separately, then their options in this market are to list their house for sale on the open market, hope the perfect dream house comes on right at the right time, and hope that seller takes a contingency to sell. Alternately, and we know that's not happening, right? But alternately, maybe they list their house, they try to find a short-term rental, or they move in with friends or family. None of these are great options, right? So what if I told you your clients could buy the new house before listing and selling their current house for sale on the open market without sacrificing equity in their listing and without sacrificing buying power on the new house? That's the Knox HomeSwap. This is the answer to that age-old problem of the chicken and the egg in real estate. So Knox is a lender, and we are the only lender in the country that enables your clients to buy the new house first with you, their favorite agent, and then list their house for sale once they've moved into the new house. So this is a more convenient, more certain, and more cost-effective way to buy and sell. So let's talk about how the home swap works. There are 2 components to the home swap. The first is a new mortgage. It's a conventional conforming mortgage. So this is a standard Freddie Fannie product, which I think is really important as an agent, that you know this is a conventional conforming loan. So the same qualifications apply. This is not a strange non-QM product that we have created. This is a standard conventional conforming loan. It goes to your conforming loan limit, which is $548,250. Hopefully we will have jumbo. We're working on adding that. We're looking towards the next 30 to 60 days for jumbo loans. And so your clients get to buy their new house first. They close on their new house. They own their new house right away. So they start building equity immediately in the new house. And as their agent, you get to write their offer non-contingent on the listing selling. We overlook the DTI on the listing. So we're not counting the debt on the old house against them when they're qualifying for the new loan, which is huge. That's a huge improvement on the old bridge loans, right? This is sort of a modern bridge loan. So we've really improved that. We're able to overlook the debt on the old house. And then my favorite part of this is the home swap advance. I think this makes it really special. So we've really answered all of the pain points clients have with a bridge loan. We've actually modernized it and made it easier. So from your client's equity in their listing, we advance up to 20% down on the new house. We pay up to 6 months of old mortgage payments on the old house, and up to $25,000 in home prep funds to get the listing ready for the market, ready to sell at top dollar. So that would be any cosmetic updates and any maybe home prep for staging. You can use this for staging as well, which I think is really handy as an agent. So from the home prep funds, then we can help you with countertops or paint or tile, whatever you recommend as their agent needs to happen to help their listing sell at top dollar. So let's talk about how the home swap process works. This is very similar to what you're doing now with your current lenders. You get them completely qualified with us at knock.com. When you go to the training, we will teach you how to use the app to complete the first couple of steps for your clients. So there will be a way to check their listing to be sure it's one that we can underwrite. You can check your client's equity position to be sure they have enough equity for the bridge loan. And then from that, you can send the application directly to your client from the app. So once we have the application, we get your clients completely pre-approved. It's a full human underwrite. It's not just a desktop underwrite. You get your approval letter, take your clients out shopping for the new house. You beat out the competition and get their dream house under contract right away because you can write the offer non-contingent on the listing selling. So you have a competitive advantage in the market as an agent, and you're bringing that advantage to your clients as well. So then once your clients close on the new house, they've moved in, they love life in the new house, then you help them fix up and list their current house for sale. Now, once their current house sells, and we want that to happen within 6 months, once their current house sells, then their home swap is complete. So let's talk about how much it costs. That's the next logical question. I'm going to start at the bottom here, actually. So the reason we want it to sell in 6 months is that equity advance is 0% interest for up to 6 months. I know that's unheard of, right? So from your client's equity, when we advance their down payment, we pay the old mortgage payment and the home prep funds. Your clients pay back dollar for dollar what they use out of their equity to make the transition from the old house to the new house. And the only difference in the home swap than what you're currently doing with a traditional lender would be a 1.25% convenience fee charged on the purchase price of the new house. So we charge that on the new house, and they can either pay that up front, they can roll it in to either the rate or to the loan if there's enough room in the appraisal. And at Knox, we have no origination fee. So if you think about your traditional lender is still charging an origination fee of some kind. And so that's typically 1%-ish of the loan amount. And ours is a 1.25% convenience fee on the purchase price of the new house. So the convenience fee really takes the place of the traditional origination fee. All right, so let's walk through a real world scenario. I want to show you what this looks like real world. This is still apples and oranges, remember, because we're the only lender in the country that enables your clients to do this. So we've got the Knox column here, and then the average lender column is the traditional transaction that you are doing currently. So if we assume a purchase price of $500,000 and an LTV of 95%, Knox has no origination fee, but remember we have the 1.25% convenience fee. And then our lender fee is a flat $14.50. So ours is a little bit less than the national average, but it's a flat $14.50. And you can see as these two columns break out, then it's a little more expensive to do the Knox home swap than it is a traditional transaction. But let's talk about what they get for a little bit of extra. So they get to keep living life in their current house the way they always have until they find the perfect dream house. You've eliminated that rush to find somewhere to live, right? That kind of stress point, that pain point of, I need to find somewhere to move to, so I'm afraid to put my listing on the market. You've eliminated that stress point and that objection for your clients. They get to keep living life like they always have in their current house until they find the perfect dream house, move into the dream house, and then they get to avoid the hassle of living through occupied showings. So no hustling out kids and pets for showings, no COVID cleanings. All of that is very much worth a little bit extra. All right, so let's talk about then what's in it for you as an agent. So again, you get to write your offers for your clients non-contingent on the listing selling. This helps you avoid the timeline stress of trying to make sure the listing closes in the morning and the buy side closes in the afternoon, and no one on either side of the transaction falls apart, right? So this really helps you avoid that timeline stress. And then this helps get your clients who are on the fence, off the fence, and out shopping. Everyone has had clients in this market in particular who want or need to move, but they're afraid to go ahead and list their house. They're afraid they won't find anything else. They're afraid of the ultra low inventory and the highly competitive offers. But with the home swap, there's no reason not to be out looking for the next house because no one's pushing them out of their listing. So if this takes 2 weeks or 2 months, it's okay with the Knox home swap. They have time then to search for their next house. And then for you as an agent, this is a market advantage and a marketing advantage. I will tell you more about the marketing shortly, but for the market advantage, this helps you close more double-sided transactions because we require clients to work with a Knox certified agent on both the buy side and the list side of the transaction. So they have to work with you on both sides of the deal. So every time you do a Knox home swap, you have 2 transactions then. And then this is no cost to your commission. I think that's the best part as an agent. Everything costs you something, whether it's by transaction or it's monthly. But the home swap is free to offer to your clients. It's free to become certified. And the co-branded marketing collateral that we provide is also free as well. So that co-branded marketing collateral looks like this. This is a social media example. So we have 7 or 8 different social media pieces you can use. There are also postcards, door hangers, flyers, brochures, anything you would need to advertise yourself as a Knox certified agent able to offer the HomeSwap to clients. And I will tell you that this social media content has had the biggest impact. We have an agent actually in the Arizona market that I can think of. He started offering this social media content last quarter. This past quarter, Q1, he closed 3 new HomeSwap transactions simply by offering this co-branded collateral. But remember, they're always double-sided transactions. So he has 3 more listings coming as well. So he has 6 deals that he would not have unless he had this social media content. So please take advantage of this. This is free to you to use at any time. You can log in once you're a Knox certified agent. You just log into the knowledge base and you can download this. We refresh it regularly as well, so you have plenty of new content available too. All right, but don't just take my word for it. I'm going to play a quick testimonial video. I think it's great we've got Colette here to give you a testimonial as well. But these are some of our Knox certified agents from across the country. We are now in 34 markets and counting. So these certified agents are certified in their markets, and you may, because you can HomeSwap market to market, you may run into one of these certified agents at some point. We can help connect you if your client is relocating. So take a listen to this video and I will be right back.
It's such a huge advantage that you have a week to move into your new home, because traditionally you'd have to be out the day that we closed.
To me, this was just completely thinking outside the box, especially because of the market that we're in and helping me be able to get more of my clients under contract.
I think it's just a great program. It took away a lot of the what ifs, and we were able to find the house that they wanted.
This program kind of flips it around so they can shop for the house they really want right now. And then once they get the house they really want, we put the other house on the market.
You have an entire team behind you. It's just a whole package.
Having Knox ability to come in and give the home prep funds, that has just relieved the stress for them.
My clients trying to purchase a new home without the Knox swap, it would not have occurred.
I promise you, you're going to rave about this program once we're all done. And I have this amazing company that's going to stand behind us, setting expectations and snapping them into reality.
We can still traditionally sell a house like we do normally. This is just another tool that we can offer them.
Awesome. All right, so let's talk about how you become a Knox certified agent. So the next step is to register for the Zoom training. It's very similar to this. It's a Zoom webinar style training. It only takes about an hour. So we will send you an invitation while we're on the call. I will go ahead and send those invitations out. Register at knock.com, choose your training day and time that fits your schedule best. We offer those 5 days a week. So you just pick the day and time that works best for you. The training portion takes about an hour, and then there is time for a Q&A after. If you can stay for the Q&A, I highly recommend that you do that. You will hear questions from agents across the country. You'll also get some really good ideas from that as well. So stay for that if you can, but otherwise the training portion is 1 hour, and then we send you a quiz to pass. By the way, we give you the answer to the quiz in the training class, as Colette will tell you. And so once you've passed that quiz, you're officially a Knox certified agent. You can start offering this to clients right away and advertising yourself as a Knox certified agent. All right, with that, I will stop sharing my screen and we will see what questions you have. Please feel free to put those in the Q&A section. And I will go ahead and send your invitations out right now while we're working on those questions.
Hey, Shelly.
Hey there.
Hey, so I've answered a few questions. I did write them down. So if you're looking at the open questions, there probably aren't any, but I answered some, but I was going to follow up to make sure I answered them correctly.
Yeah, perfect. Okay.
I'm trying to figure out, how do I turn my camera back on?
Well, it should on the stop video.
I know, I'll figure it out. Oh, there we go. Hang on. All right, there I am. Take off my reading glasses so you guys think you still have a young broker. So on the Q&A, there was one, Philippa Main had asked about equity needed in their existing home. And I kind of answered ideal situation is 30%. There are exceptions each way, but you guys have a proprietary valuation tool that can give them that answer fairly quickly. Is that correct?
Yes, so there's a two-step process in the app. So once you're in training, we'll teach you how to use the app. Phase 1 eligibility check is let's make sure the listing is one that we can underwrite. Then the second part of that is a calculator. So you put in your client's suggested list price, their mortgage balance, a few other details. It tells you what the gross equity percentage is. And ideally, that's 30% or more for the bridge loan. The absolute minimum is 20%, and that's totally up to the client's individual situation. Obviously, they need some equity in order to qualify for the bridge loan, but we make it easy from within the app to verify that in advance.
Great question. And then, and Philippa, ask again if that didn't answer your question fully. Jay Quigley asked, and there's a very similar question I had on our initial meeting was, okay, where's the catch? All right, now everybody else is doing 2.5%. Are you guys at 5%, or where's the catch on the new rate, right? And so we'll let Colette answer, because I answered Colette that your clients had experienced pretty much right in line, correct, Colette, with the actual rate?
Yes. So what I suggested to my clients was to go ahead and run the same house scenario through another lender, so that they can compare all of the fees, the rates, everything. And they did that. And they came back to me and said that everything looked almost identical. There was no difference other than, the fee for the HomeSwap, right? Which they were happy to pay because that, in their minds, that's the only way that they're able to buy right now.
Yes, exactly. That's great. Great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes, there is no upcharge on the rate for doing a home swap.
Which is awesome because it's a Fannie Freddie product. It's not some, exotic non-QM, like you said. So that's great. Tabitha had asked, can these deals be done in different states, like state to state? And my answer was, yes, as long as Knox is qualified to do mortgages in both and so on and so forth, or is registered. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes. So you'll find the markets that we cover on our website. So that's knock.com/cities, or you can just go to the knock.com, pull down the cities tab. We're adding new markets all the time. So yes, you can home swap market to market. We will pair you with a Knox certified agent in the other market, and then you can work out your commission directly.
Perfect. Those are the only 3 questions that I had seen thus far, but maybe we can check and see if there are any new open questions.
Sounds good. Yes. Oh, I see new open questions. Okay.
All right. I'll let you take them then.
Sounds great. All right. So Mary says, do you place a lien on the existing home? Yes, we do, Mary. Think about that equity advance, like a standard equity loan or a HELOC maybe, right? So it attaches to the listing. And that's how we make sure that we get paid back for that bridge loan advance. All right. And Deborah says, if I have someone needing to sell in Chicago, but buying here next week, based on what you said, it sounds like this won't work since I can't represent them as the selling agent in Chicago. So Deborah, Chicago is not a market for us yet. It's on the roadmap, but we are not quite there just yet. So let's assume that it was a market. Let's say we are already in Chicago and that is a market. Then we would just pair you with a certified agent on the other side. And so you could work out a referral commission with them directly. And so as long as we're in that market, then yes, we can help you home swap market to market. All right. And then Rick says, what markets are you currently available in? I'm originally from New York and have many friends and family that would love to relocate to Florida, but don't want to be homeless. Yes, that is a great question, Rick. So we are working on New York is actually also on the roadmap. I'm not sure in terms of what order we're going to be Chicago or be in New York, but yes, it's on the roadmap. We know that you need the Northeast specifically for your market. So yes, that is coming. Just stay tuned. I used to be able to rattle off all of the markets, Rick, but now there are 34. So I don't spend the time doing that, but knock.com, go to the cities tab. You can see all of the markets we're available in there.
Shelley, real quick, are the areas specific to cities and geographic regions, or are they statewide?
So that's an interesting question. So part of what we're doing is using a proprietary algorithm to look at predicted price and days on market. That data is granular down to the city and the MLS. So we are working on opening up states. Actually, Florida is our largest coverage by state. We're working on opening up entire states, but that is to be determined based on data. So I gave you a long answer there, but yes, we are.
Makes sense. It's because it's not just you being qualified to do loans, but can we trust our algorithm to give us legitimate value
Correct.
data? Got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Okay, so Virginia says, does it matter if the new home is less expensive than the one they're selling? Convenience fee would net less to Knox. No, Virginia, that happens all the time. We do a lot of downsizing deals. So yes, this is perfect for downsizing. Now, I will tell you in terms of downsizing, the next logical question is, if your client's house is paid off, so it's 100% equity, can they just pay for the new house cash? No, we can't. We can advance up to 20% down on the new house. They would still need to qualify for the conventional mortgage. But then once their listing sells, they can pay it off with no prepayment penalty. Okay. And let's see. Rachel says, if they are moving from another state, would we need to be registered in that state or refer them to another agent that's affiliated with Knox? So we'll help you do that. If when that situation comes up, it actually comes up a lot. We will help pair you with a certified agent in the next market. So our internal team will help you take care of that. All right, and then Connie says, any prepayment penalty? No prepayment penalty. And actually, Connie, if you need to recast, we do recast as well. So if you have 100% equity and they're buying a different home, and maybe once they sell the listing, they could pay off 80% of the new mortgage, they can recast, and there's a very low cost for that. It's a few $100s-ish. Don't quote me on that, but it's a few $100s. And so it saves them from having to do a full refinance. They can just recast, and then no prepayment penalty whatsoever. All right, and Mary says, can you explain again how you get them qualified without using their current home debt? Yes. Okay, Mary, so that's such a great question. I'm glad you asked. I'm gonna give you the long answer because I am also an agent. I've been an agent for 11 years, just not currently practicing. And so I think I like to have the long answer, so I'll give you the long one too. Okay, so the mechanism that's allowing us to overlook the debt on the old house, Freddie and Fannie require us to put in an optional second position backup offer on your client's listing. So once you go under contract on the new house, we put in an optional second position backup offer on the listing. So that enables us to overlook the debt on the listing for the backup offer, but also that we're paying the old mortgage payment for your client. Those two pieces allow us to overlook the debt on the old house and it still be a conventional conforming loan. So very good question. Now let's cover the backup offer real fast. We have not had to buy out a single house yet. So we would love to keep that streak going. In 34 markets, we have not had to buy a house. So we are not in the business of buying houses. We are a lender. We make money as a lender. If we start buying houses, we lose money. So that's why we use those algorithms to make sure we feel like your client's house is going to sell within the 6 months so they can take advantage of 0% and we don't wind up owning real estate, right?
Shelly, you mind if I step in for a second?
Sure.
One of my agents emailed me over the weekend. She was one of the proactive agents that went and got trained ahead of time, and I think has a deal already under contract as well, right? And is doing it. However, she asked me, because we have a rule here in our MLS that we can't market a home as active when there's a pending offer on it already, right?
Right.
And she said, would Knox backup offer prohibit me from actively marketing the home as active in the MLS? And my answer, I'm not an MLS, czar, but I did say, and I do, I'm not joking about that, by the way, the MLS, right? So I'm not one that issues mandates from on high. But for me, because your backup is written specifically as, hey, look, we'd prefer to get out of the way. We'd rather you sell it to somebody else, right? Then that allows us to still keep the listing active in the MLS, looking for, not to call you not a real buyer, but looking for a legitimate arm's length transaction kind of buyer.
Right. So yes, so it's a bona fide offer, but it is a specifically second position. So it does not prevent you then from putting your listing in the MLS because it's a second position. And it says very clearly in the paperwork that it's second position.
Very good.
And by the way, for your clients, this is optional. So they don't have to take the offer if they got to the end of the 6 months and they were the unfortunate soul that their house did not sell within that 6 months. they don't have to take the backup offer. It's optional. So there is no obligation to then sell it to us at the backup offer price. Okay.
So what would they do in that scenario? You're saying that they could make it a rental, but they've already qualified for the first mortgage. So now though, I mean, would you have to evaluate their first mortgage on the new home to say, oh, now you've got this debt and we only count 75% of the income coming in from your rental and yada, yada. Would that be, say, or we've already given you the loan, just now you got to cover both payments?
Yeah, so it's closed on the new loan. So the balloon payment, it's a balloon payment on the equity bridge. So it comes due. And so we'll help them find a way. Obviously, if we need to refinance that or whatever we need to do to help them get through that. Thankfully, that's not happening. So 90% of these are selling in 90 days or less. That's obviously the market helping us, but all of them have sold within the 6 months. So our algorithm is proprietary and it's the most accurate on the market, which is why we ask you to use that and put the information in the app. So we're super experienced with this. So I think, thankfully that hasn't happened. But if we get to a worst case scenario, we would rather find a way to help you work it out with your client rather than us have to buy the house out. So we'll help you find a way.
Hey, agents, all the algorithms say they're the most accurate.
Ours is proven though. Ours is proven. Yes. Yep. Ours is good. All right. So Tom says, do you do condos as well? Single family? Yes. Condos, townhomes, single family works. So any property that would work for conventional conforming loan. Now, I will say with condos, if there's some kind of weird situation, we ran into this in Miami, there's a particular condo association that actually takes first position. You can believe that. We're not going to get into that scenario because then obviously the mortgage is first and we don't want to be third, for example. But yes, so as long as it's a standard condo situation. So I always have to give a disclaimer on condos now. All right. And then Evelyn says, so if the time frame is 6 months for the listing side, what happens if the buyer finds a new build that is 8 months out? Great question, Evelyn. So your 6 month time frame starts the day they close on the new house. So you don't have to worry about it. If they give you an 8 month build time and it takes 12 months, I hope that doesn't happen, but this is building, it's real estate, it does, right? So if it takes longer, that's fine because the 6 month time starts when they close on the new house. So they get to keep living life in their current house. They don't have to worry about that timing, the building being complete, putting the listing on the market just to make sure they qualify. It's a nail biter for everyone. You get to skip all of that with the HomeSwap. Okay, Ray says, what happens if the client is purchasing new construction and wants to use Knox, but down the road? Same question. Yeah, they move the date from 6 to 7 months. Builder delays do happen. Yes, in our California market, they're looking at 18-month build times. In some markets at this point, it's just crazy at the moment. But yes, no worries, Ray. The 6 months starts once they close on the new house. All right, Virginia says, so does Knox automatically rule out our sellers accepting backup offers? No, we would rather you take someone else's backup offer than ours, Virginia. So again, we're not in the business of buying homes. If we start buying homes, we will start losing money. So we're a lender. We'd like to stay a lender. We do not want to be a real estate company. All right. And then Ray says, oh, Ray says disregard, but I didn't read it that far, Ray. So no worries. Evelyn says, thank you. And Chris says, have the training invites been sent? I don't see it in my email. Yes, Chris, those have gone out already. So check your spam if you don't see it in your inbox right now. They come from HomeSwap at Knox.com. So they don't come from me directly. They come from HomeSwap at Knox.com. And you should find it in your spam if you don't see it in your inbox. But I will put my email address in the chat. If you don't receive it, just send me a quick email. I'll be glad to resend it or find a way to get it to you, okay? And it's really easy. It's Shelly@Knox.com, by the way. All right. And let's see, Virginia says, are your backup offers at a discounted market value? If buyer one falls out, can we put it back in active status and market to another buyer? Yes, so the backup offer is at a reduced value. Obviously at that point, it hasn't sold in 6 months, so it's not worth what we thought it was worth originally, right? So it's a 80 to 85% on the backup offer of market value. And if the buyer falls out, yes, you put it back on the market, put it back in active status, get a different buyer. Yes, absolutely. Hopefully
Hey,
you're
Shelley, real quick, I did see in the chat that there was a question about who handles title. Is that just up to the seller's choice as usual?
Yes, seller's choice as usual. Yes, absolutely. And let's see, Tiffany asked, join the Zoom call late and it is recorded. So yes, we'll make sure that you have a copy of that as well. All right. So that looks like all of our questions, unless anyone else has any other questions. Those were great.
We have great agents.
You do.
Yes, we do. Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm going to share something really quickly and then we'll wrap it up, Bob, and unless somebody else has questions. So I want to share with you that I started with Knox about 3 years ago. I came from traditional agency. I started with Knox back when we had a real estate program. So we were marketing as agents to clients, right? So we were in competition with the agents. And so I came to Knox doing an average of 10 to 12 transactions a year, depending on the year. And I did 72 transactions in our previous version of this. We've made it more cost effective and decided to shut down the brokerage service. And now we are partnering with agents strictly as a lender. So we are working with the industry rather than in competition with the industry. So I think we've really solved all the pain points, not just for the clients, but also for the agents as well.
That's awesome. And that's one of the questions I had. Did you cover, and I may be overstepping my bound, but that's par for the course for me. That once they've brought a deal to you, right, that they go into, because you guys are marketing to the general public as well, and that you at times have, or you might have a lead from another state that needs a Tampa-based agent to be the listing side or the buy side, that once they've brought a deal, then you go, that's how you get into the referral pool, correct? That you could receive referrals from you guys in-house.
Yes. Okay. So we do direct to consumer advertising in 2 different ways because we want the HomeSwap brand to be known. So when you say I'm a Knox certified agent, I can offer the HomeSwap, that there's brand recognition then for the consumer. So we advertise directly to consumer and we have a partnership with Realtor.com. Through both of those kind of paths, then we get in consumer leads. But because we're not a brokerage, we're just a lender, we can't service those. So once you have closed your first HomeSwap transaction, you have to be a Knox certified agent. You have to have closed your first HomeSwap transaction. You then become eligible to receive those leads. We pass those out round robin. And those leads are the only time this costs anything from your commission. It's a 30% referral fee, both on the buy side and the list side. So you get to keep 70% on both sides. We pay for the lead, which is why there's a referral fee, but then that client is your client forever. So you take them, there's nothing due to Knox after your first transaction with that client. But yes, we do have a lead generation, and we have a whole department that helps sort out when we have someone moving state to state or a lead comes into us. We make sure they're completely qualified. Then we give you the lead. We make sure they're completely qualified, and then we pass you off to the next market. So we make it really easy for you as a Knox certified agent to do the HomeSwap when it's that way.
Hey, Colette, could you just share with them? I thought it was really cool the way you shared with me how easy, like after you did the training, you went into the app and within a short time you had them qualified for their equity, right, in the home they had to sell because you just put in their address. And didn't you say you had another client that was, hey, that might work. Do you think my home might qualify? And literally you had an answer pretty quickly, right? I mean, as far as equity available, and then also getting them qualified to get the pre-qual letter, pre-approval letter actually, and everything else going. Do you mind sharing like a couple minutes on that?
Sure. So the first step was just to see if the home is in an area that qualifies for the HomeSwap, right? So that's plugging in the address and then answering a few questions about the home and what you think you'll list it for. So it's just kind of like I think for them, a very general, does this home qualify in the area and does it have potentially enough equity? And then it gives you a link right there where you can invite, or an option to invite the buyer seller to, to kind of go ahead and start their pre-qual with with the lending side, and that all happened very quickly. And then, you know, they got mine got pre-qualified, I want to say within the same day. And I hope, you know, we were kind of rushing this through because I don't know if that's always the timeline, but then they had a full pre-approval. It took about a week, which is the norm right now. They had a full-blown pre-approval, and I liked them having a pre-approval because that letter looked a little bit different and definitely looked more solid. And I didn't have, the listing agent never even questioned whether, you know, because the pre-qual letter I've noticed mentions HomeSwap, where the pre-approval letter actually didn't. So that listing agent never even questioned it. And I actually mentioned it after the fact, and she said, "Oh, we had no idea. I wish I'd known," because her clients would have probably done the same thing, right? But they're, you know, they're buying out of state in a state that HomeSwap isn't there yet. But yeah, so it was super easy on the app. I had a neighbor who asked me really quick, "Hey, do you think this will work for me?" And I said, "I don't know, give me your address." And I plugged it in really quick. And sure enough, it said, it gives you like, I think a little check mark, and it says this home, you know, initially qualifies if you go ahead and enter their email address or send the link. And of course you get permission to do that. And once I did, I sent it to him, and then it's up to him if he wants to qualify on the lending side.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great testimonial. And you'll find that happens a lot. People will say, "Hey, does my house qualify? Can you check my house?" So yes, that is awesome. And the pre-quals we can turn around really quickly. The pre-approvals are the ones that take a little bit longer, typically because we need the client's documentation, right? No one has all of that sitting around handy, ready to give somebody at any minute. So usually that's what we're waiting for. But yeah, I'm glad that it worked out really quickly for you and for your clients.
And that's exactly how that worked. Like the moment, literally the moment that my client texted me and said, "Hey, we've uploaded everything," I heard from Rob saying, "We've got this pre-approval fully done." I mean, it was literally like once they had everything, and it was all about, like you said, it was just you guys waiting on documents. Once they uploaded everything, the pre-qual was done, which was awesome.
That's great. Yeah, that's great to hear. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, looks like we have a couple more questions in the chat. And so Lily says, "Can we use this to sell income producing properties?" So Lily, it has to be a 1-for-1. It's got to be primary residence because it's a conventional conforming mortgage. So same qualifications apply. So that's a restriction not on Knox, but because it's a conventional conforming loan. And Tom says, "Can we use the online calculator to get information to help us market to the prospects on the fence?" So Tom, I'm going to give you 2 tracks here. So number 1, I would use that social media content all the time. That's really going to help you get in front of people. And then the second piece of this, we have some really savvy agents who have gotten their title company involved. And so they'll want to farm a particular neighborhood. And we have the postcards. We have everything you need, right? So get your title company to pull equity position in a particular neighborhood and only market to the ones that would actually qualify for the home swap. So you would be the agent going to them and saying, "Hey, do you want to move? You have enough equity to do the home swap. Let me tell you more about it." Maybe it's a great fit for the home swap. Maybe it's not, but it got you in front of a potential seller and a potential buyer. So yeah, that's a great question. And Mary says, "Are the Knox principals, banker, lenders, and or real estate professionals?" Just curious. Okay, Mary, so we are actually originating these loans. So we are not brokering out the loans. We are originating the loans. And so our lending team is all licensed for lending. And then I'm on the business development team. And so I am an agent. I've been a realtor for 11 years, but I don't practice anymore. So I'm not doing transactions. We do not have brokerage service available. So we are strictly lenders at this point. But our previous version of this, we were offering this as a brokerage service. But it turns out that if we will allow clients to work with their favorite agent instead of requiring them to work with us, we find that we can reach more consumers, and we also partner with the industry. So it works out well for everyone. All right. Sure thing, Mary. She said, "Thank you." And Evelyn says, "Because we have a great broker." Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Bob and Colette really chased us down, and they made this possible for you. So it's an advantage in the market. And I like to tell new partners, go ahead and get certified because your competition is going to have this. So you need this tool in your tool belt. Don't wait until you think you have the right client for it before you go get certified, because at that point, your client is waiting on you. They want to buy and sell, but now they have to wait on you to become certified. Go ahead and get that part out of the way. It only takes about an hour for the training. Stay for the Q&A if you can, for as long as you can, and then take the quiz. All right, and Whitney says, this option is so awesome. Thank you, Shelly, and thank you, Bob, for making this happen. Yes, thank you, Whitney. Yeah, this is an amazing solution. I know as agents, we can all think of clients we've lost over the years who would have moved, but they were still stuck in their old house because they never had the down payment saved separately. They could never qualify to carry 2 mortgages. This is an amazing solution to get those clients out shopping.
I got a question. Since I'm a panelist, I get to ask it live, right? You ready? Here's a pressure packed one.
Okay.
Are you going to sell to Zillow?
Ah, that's funny. Not that's funny. Not that I'm aware of. So our founders actually helped found Trulia. And then when Trulia sold to Zillow, they started Knox. So I see where you're going with that question. Yeah. So not that I am aware of. No.
Okay, perfect. We try and avoid feeding the beast around here.
Right. Totally understand that. Yes. Yep. All right. I don't see any other questions in the Q&A section. Let me check the chat real fast. No, looks like we're good. We're good in the chat as well. So those training invitations have gone out. Go ahead and register for training. Your day and time, just pick the day and time that fits your schedule best. We offer those 5 days a week. If the day is not available, it's because it's already full. So just pick the next day that works for you, okay?
And then I'll jump in. Shelly will get us a copy of this recording. And then I think Mara's out today, but as soon as Mara gets back in, either this afternoon or tomorrow, we'll load it up onto FHR University. So you guys have that if you want to go back and revisit any of this stuff or get a chance to see Colette again. Because who wouldn't want to see Colette one more time?
I've also updated the Facebook post I did this morning about the presentation with the information as to how to get certified with the direct link to it in case somebody can't find it in their email. Is that okay for them to use that instead of the email link?
Thank you. Yes. So thank you for doing that, Colette. So the direct email that comes to your inbox is the fastest way because then we've already made sure that you're with the brokerage. If you use the training link, you're welcome to do that. There's one extra step involved in it, but it's no big deal. Either path will get you to training.
Okay. And I think I might be wrong, but I think the link I have is actually connected to our brokerage too. Like I specifically asked for one. So it might avoid that step for them, but I'm not sure.
Yes. Yeah. It'll still have one extra step, but you're right. It is unique to your brokerage.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much, Shelly. It was very, very informative. And I knew our agents were going to get a ton of value out of this. And all my skepticism that we had when I entered that first Zoom call with you guys was abated. So I felt comfortable in promoting this. And I'm excited to see how extra transactions may start flowing from this and cross state lines kind of stuff where, hey, look, this could be a really good source. And the minute you get that Northeast and stuff, let us know. Because, there's a joke around here. We have a picture of Andrew Cuomo and he's called Florida's Realtor of the Year. Because he's driving all the business to us, so we love it. But get them all qualified up there, so you can buy all those houses up in New York and let these people move down.
Sounds great. That sounds great. Thank you so much. We're excited to be partnered with you. And if you need anything, feel free to reach out. Our mainline number is on the website. By the way, we answer the phone live unless literally everyone is on the phone. So you don't have to go through prompts. You don't have to worry about how do I get to the person I need to talk to. Just please feel free to go ahead and call the number anytime or email me directly.
Oh, we got one more last raised hand I see. Do you see that down there?
I do see that. Let me see, Chris, if I can. I'm going to promote you to panelist. And
well, careful what you do. Now everybody's going to raise their hand because they want to be seen. Realtors, you know them.
All right. Let's see, Chris, if I can make it so you can come off mute. All right, Chris, feel free. If you've got a question, you want to come off mute, feel free.
Did he go away?
Oh,
he got
so.
shy.
He did. Maybe he accidentally.
raise his hand accidentally, right? It's oh, and I'm logging off. Leave meeting, quick.
That's funny. Thank you all for being here. Thanks so much. And I will send out this recording as soon as we're done.
Awesome. Thanks, Shelley.
Thank you.
Shelley.
Thanks, Colette.
Thank you, Bob.